Hi, it's Darnell with Way Living Recipes, and today I'm going to be roasting a whole 12-pound turkey in the Ninja French Door Premier. And let's get cooking right now. Alright, so I've got the Ninja French Door Premier here, and I need to show you something because from what I read in the documentation, you should be able to put a 12-pound turkey in it, but this is my 12-pound turkey that I basically trussed and brined for, going for this. And we see that it's, just not going to fit in there. It's just a little too high. So what I'm going to have to do is spatchcock this turkey and then try and put it in. And if you don't know what spatchcock means, basically that's where you cut the back of the spine with some shears that are made for cutting this type of thing. You cut the back of the spine out, and then basically it'll lay flatter so that it'll fit in the oven easier. Alright, so as mentioned, I've cut the backbone out of it, and then you've got to press down on the top of it to break the breastbone so that it lays flatter, and it will fit now. So basically I'll need a smaller turkey as far as its actual capacity. But I brined it with this turkey brine here. It's an organic San Francisco Salt Company turkey brine kit. Apple sage, they also have other flavors, but basically they give you everything you need and they give you the full instructions to get it done. And I will say with brining, you want to brine for about a pound, an hour per pound. And so like if it's 12 pounds like this, really it's best to brine it for just 12 hours. If you brine too long, it can get a little salty tasting. But in this case, I brined it for about 21 hours, a little longer than should have been brined. So Lord willing, it won't be too salty. It's just a matter of circumstances come up, and sometimes you end up having to leave your turkey in the brine longer than you want it to. But what I have here, I'm starting off with, I've got an ounce of butter, a quarter cup of extra light olive oil. And extra light olive oil has a really high smoke point, but we're not going to be cooking too high anyway, but I'm going to use the extra light olive oil anyway. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to brush this over the top of the turkey, all over the top of it, and that'll just kind of help things with not overcooking too quickly. Also to help with helping these seasonings that I'm going to put on to be able to stick a little better. Now that I've got things all oiled up, I'm going to season it with some smoked sea salt and also some black pepper that I'll be cracking from this basically grinder. Alright, so it's all oiled and seasoned up. I know it might seem a little counterintuitive to salt a turkey that's been in a brine way too long, but we're going to go with it because that is the plan that I've had for this turkey. And so we're going to go ahead and get it into the oven here. So just open the doors and put it on in. It's kind of riding the sides a bit, but we did get it in. Hooray! Now that I've got it in, I've got my thermometer here, meat thermometer. So I'm going to go ahead and stick a meat probe down here. I'm going to try and stick it down here lengthwise in the breast meat like that. And we'll see if we can get things closed up. And it's a tight close, but yeah, it's closed. So the doors are fully closed, so we're good. I've just moved the wire down to the bottom here. It seems to close even better like that. It's only the turkey itself that's kind of holding things in a little bit. So let's see if I can just press on the turkey a little bit. Yeah, that's better. So now it's closed really well. And so now I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to go to whole roast, and I'm going to adjust the temperature just down 10 degrees to 360, and for the time I'm going to up that to 90 minutes, and we'll see if it gets done in 90. If it's not done, if it's not at 165 and 90, then we'll go a little longer, but we'll see what the Lord might will for this turkey at this time and temperature. And hitting start, it does a 90-second preheat. I'm just going to leave it in there for that, but I'll bring you back in a while. Alright, so the turkey's been cooking for a little over 40 minutes now, and the temperature of the meat is at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And I wanted to mention that because it's so close to the top heating elements, I am starting to smell things cook a little hard, or maybe it's the like drippings that are causing things to cook a little hard, but I smell a little bit of a burn, but the top of it doesn't look very burnt yet. It looks like it's really brown heavily, but if you're familiar with this channel, you know I have no plans to put foil over it. I don't like foil, aluminum, of any kind of aluminum on my food, and I'm not going to be trying to turn a 12-pound turkey over that's already been spatchcocked. I'm going to let it play out as it is, and we'll see how things go. Here on the channel, if you're not familiar with this channel, there's nearly 1,000 videos now covering well over 100 different types of countertop appliances. Done plenty of turkey cooks, and so I know what I'm doing, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, it's been cooking for 1 hour now. The meat temperature is at 162. I know, I could do the carryover thing, but if you're familiar with this channel, I'm not a fan of carryover, although I know all about it. So we're going to let it continue till it gets to 165 fully, and then I'll do some more checking to ensure that it's 165. I'm seeing that the top of it, from what I can see, is not really getting too burnt over from what I can see. I think that the smell that I was smelling earlier was probably the dripping burning in the pan. And if you're the type who likes turkey drippings, you might want to consider if you really want to cook one in an air fryer oven, because most of your drippings are going to burn up in the bottom pan here because of how they roast and cook things. So we're going to let this continue for a couple more degrees, and then I'll just bring you on back, or I'll just let you go ahead and watch until it gets to 165 because we're so close. Alright, 165 in 1 hour and 2 minutes. So I'm going to open on up and going to do some more temperature testing here. Never saw smoke coming out, so that's a good thing. And meat temperature, what I'm checking here is saying 183. Checking by the probe just to double check my probe. I'm reading like 160 down here. So we're a little short here. Like I said, I know I could rely on the carryover, but I'm going to let this thing go for about another, let's see, we'll give it until it gets to 15 minutes left. So that'll give us a little more time, a little over 12 more minutes to see how things turn out. Alright, it's been going now for about an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm going to give it another check now just to see how things are doing. Even though we haven't reached 15 minutes left yet, I can check the temp again over here where I was earlier. We're at like 163. Check a little lower. It's like 168, 167. I think even though I'm not a carryover guy, I think we're good enough now. I'm feeling safe enough now. And I'm that guy who will happily go over instead of under. So I'm going to go ahead and get the meat probe out of here. See if I can get it out without burning myself, Lord willing. Pan in. Alright, got that out. I'm going to turn things off to stop that. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get it over here on this rack that I have to try and let it set on. We did get a bit of overcooking on the top. Whoops, a little hot there. So we did get a little bit of overcooking on the top, but I'm good with that. Let it close a little bit. Alright, so got the cooker out of the way to make some room here, and we see that we got a totally done turkey. For you who, are all into how the top of it looks, you can do whatever you feel you need to do. It's interesting that the little thermometer in the meat never pops up, but we are well over 165, we know. So just gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes to reabsorb juices, and then we'll try and do some cutting and plating and taste testing. Alright, so we've given things some time to reabsorb the juices a bit, and so going to go ahead and cut into here right in top of the breast meat. You've got a nice crispy exterior there on the skin. Get this piece here out. You see how that looks there? Doesn't look bad. Just gonna get that off. Let's hold this piece up here. You see it's got some bend to it. So we're looking pretty decent. I'm going to cut a piece without skin and a piece with that crunchy skin, and we'll do our taste test. So thank God for this meat. Let's go ahead and taste. I'm going to try the piece with no skin first. It's still pretty hot. Make sure it's cool first. Pretty good, pretty moist. Now on the slice that has some skin on it. Excuse me. Alright, the meat is moist and juicy. The skin, that exterior, got pretty hard from the cooking on the top, but it tastes very good. I can taste that seasoning really well. So it tastes good. The meat doesn't taste overly salted from the brine, so I'm very happy about that because I've had some that I brine too long and things can get salty in there. But this one turned out good, and so I think that the brine mix was able to do its work without overdoing it on the salt. The mixture that they put in that brine doesn't oversalt things even when you brine for way too long. So that's very good to know, and that to me makes it a very good brine that I might look to again in the future. I will say, I don't feel that the cooker is really suited for a 12-pound turkey, even though they say it. I don't feel it myself personally. I feel even if I was doing a 10-pound turkey in it, that I would spatchcock it, but it might be a little more suited for a spatchcock 10-pound turkey, unless it barely fits in there. Still, I'd probably spatchcock it, and probably no more than 10 pounds myself if I were doing a turkey and we're putting it into the French door premiere. That's just my opinion. If I was coming at it not being who I am, as someone who, if they say 12, I want to try it, and I just want to see what happens. You know what I mean? That's how I like to do things. But anyway, the turkey came out nice. It was able to roast it well. The top got hard some, but still, it wasn't like, with it having a fan coming down from the top. I mean, I've seen, especially like the Cuisinart line, really tear up the top of stuff, cooking it a long time, like an hour or so. So it did a good job. It was able to really better regulate itself than some others that I've seen cooking something that long and having a heat fan coming from the top. So it really did do a decent job for the type of cooker that it is. I just feel that it's not really made for a 12-pound turkey, even though I saw that in Ninja's documentation. I don't personally feel it myself. So all the same, all is well that ends well. This ended very tasty. It turned out very good. So the cooker handle, basically, in my opinion, being overloaded, but it did it. And so I hope that this helped you. You could try the same recipe in other types of cookers and such. If your turkey can fit without spatchcocking, the same method will work. And so I do like how the Premier did it. I mean, it handled it all good. It came out moist. The whole roast does what it's supposed to do. And so nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing given to me, and I like things that way. In the video description, there are lots of ways for you to help the channel. Also, you can always check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Again, that's superwaveovenrecipes.com. And in the video description, there are things like buy me a coffee, my cookbook, merch, membership, donations. There's links, affiliate links to a number of different types of shops where you can buy appliances. These are name brands that you know, major name brand stores that you know, stuff that you might not be familiar with. And so you can use those to help the channel. Also, if you see the shop icon here on the Wave Oven Recipes YouTube channel, you can use that shop icon to buy this or other types of cookers and things. That helps the channel through the affiliate connections that I have there. Also, there's the super thanks option if you want to show your appreciation and, make a donation one time. That way you can do that. And also there are ways for you to help the channel without paying any money at all. If you're watching this within the first week of release, there is a hype button that you can use on a mobile device. Even if you're watching on TV, you can pick up your mobile device and pull up this video, and you can hit that hype button up to 3 times to help promote this video out to others. Also, you can always give this video a thumbs up. You can share this video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.